Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be talking about LUDOVIC on the rate up and whether you should be pulling for him or not. So originally I was planning on pulling for him day 1, although generally that is not a recommended option because if you have time in the rate up recruitment, like here it's actually a 27-day period, which is I think the longest there has ever been for a rate up banner, which will give people plenty of time to summon LUDOVIC on their account, test him, see whether he's viable in Supreme Arena or Arena, maybe even Dream Realm. But from the looks of things, he seems to be a purely PvP hero. I don't think he'll have much greater effectiveness compared to our current options that we have in Dream Realm and AFK stage pushing. So my recommendation, especially with a 27-day period, is just wait, see how usable he is, how meta he is. For example, what I've seen from Taylene, even though she seemed to have a really strong kit, doesn't seem like a game-changing hero on an account. And LUDOVIC may be the same, but he might be game-changing, but then you have time later on in the banner that you can summon for him. Either way, we've saved up recruitments. As you can tell, we have a lot of resources. We haven't summoned or recruited since Elsa banner, and even at Elsa banner, I left some things in the tank. I didn't go all out for her, and she's not even Mythic Plus yet. So that's my recommendation about these heroes, because even though LUDOVIC does look good, we need to see him in practice, and also you have to be very careful with these resources, because another hero which comes out right after LUDOVIC might be even stronger than him and more meta and more important for your team. Especially if like a Dream Realm hero ever comes out, then that would be like a top priority. But that being said, I'm going to go over his skills. His Supreme Plus, which they didn't reveal in the trailer up until now, his launch, is really strong, and it is probably one of the best Supreme Pluses I've seen of any hero. So that is going to make him an even more attractive option to pick up here. So overall, my opinion on LUDOVIC so far is on paper he looks amazing, but you also have to be a little bit logical and think, is he going to replace anyone in my non-seasonal arena defense or offense? Is he going to replace anyone in my Supreme Arena defense? I definitely think he will have a place in Supreme Arena defense. I don't think from his skill kit he's going to be that usable in PvE content or Dream Realm. I don't think, for example, he's going to be better than Smokey in most Dream Realm bosses. And then you don't want to run another healer on top of that. And his damage contribution is not going to be substantial, because even the damage, which is proportionate to the enemy's maximum HP, is going to be capped like all sources of damage, capped by a percentage of his attack. But look at his Supreme Plus. This is going to add a stun into his kit onto his Everbloom field, and his Everbloom field is basically, I don't know exactly how high the radius, maybe a 2-tile radius, which will be healing your allies and also sometimes decreasing and taking and damaging the opponents, and also it will now be stunning them when they step into it for 3 seconds, and it can be re-triggered every 12 seconds. So to have a stun on a healer is really amazing. It makes him like a pretty much well-rounded support, and he is a good option. But what you have to compare him to is currently what are our top tier support heroes, which are Haywin and Damien. Haywin and Damien have so much healing. Haywin also not only has massive healing, almost the same as LUDOVIC. LUDOVIC actually has a bit more healing than Haywin if his Everbloom field can trigger on all of your allies. But that is a big if, because the Everbloom field is not going to be a arena-wide skill. It will have a range where it will be able to heal your allies from. And also, the thing with Haywin is she has damage reduction. The 34%, 36% damage reduction is why she is one of the best supports in the game, because that is almost as much damage reduction as Coco's ultimate, and it doesn't come with the harmful side effect of the damage being dealt to you after the ultimate ends. So I don't think he is going to replace Haywin in a stall type team, although he may be an addition along with Haywin. And then Damien also has massive healing. Damien also has haste, and he has crowd control. So Damien is kind of similar to LUDOVIC. However, Damien can be respawned in his toy chariot. So, do I think LUDOVIC is going to be better than Damien and Haywin? I think not. But I think he's going to be a close third to them as a support healer. And so I do think he will be an S+ tier hero, but he will be towards the end of S+ tier. So it is up to you as well. Like, if you want to summon for him, if you think he looks cool and you want to add him to your account and you want to begin building him right now, then you can summon him. I don't think he's a bad option to summon, but just in general, with these raid up recruitments, when you have such a long period of 27 days to wait and see how he going to be part of the meta or not, are people like in your guild having success with him or not, like these are all things you can use to analyze and then decide, should I be building him or not? Because you're going to be very limited on your diamonds. You cannot like save up enough to max out a hero on each raid up recruitment. It will take months for you to get enough diamonds and raid up tickets in order to even take a hero to mythic plus, which will be on raid up. And from the data mine, there was also an image of Tassie, who, if you have played AFK Arena, is a support wilder hero who was one of the best supports, at least at the time I played it. AFK Arena was one of the strongest crowd control supports, and you kind of needed her on your account. And if that is going to be the case, if Tassie comes out here in AFK Journey, then you're going to also want to save for that. So you need to kind of just think and be a bit logical about the decision, rather than look at his kit and see that it looks really good and just summon for him. And that's originally what I was going to do. I was totally planning on summoning today, but then I saw that there's a 27-day period for the raid up, and I felt like, if I summon now and he's not amazing, and also what if he's not going to replace the heroes I already am using, then it'll be kind of like a waste, and then I would have wanted to save for a future hero. So that is my advice. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how he does. Just to compare some things, his Everbloom field will heal, if you take a look here. 3 healing waves, restoring HP for allies up to 150% per wave. This is his active. But his passive, the Everbloom field will wither. Okay, and it will heal a maximum of 1,200% of his current attack. Restoring HP for adjacent allies by up to... So, adjacent allies by up to 150%. This is the main issue I see with his skill. It's the adjacent allies in the passive form. In the active form, it seems to have a wider range. Designated tile, it releases 3 healing waves, each restoring HP for all allies within 2 tiles, so 2 tiles. But in passive form, only adjacent within 1 tile, and that can be awkward. Because even Damien, for example, he has a 2 tile radius of his healing, and 3 tile radius actually, 3 tile range of his healing for his weakest hero on your team. So even 2 tile range sometimes is not going to get value, so getting a 1 tile range value is going to be very difficult. So it's kind of going to rely on the active, and that is not going to then be that good. Although if this field is up in your front line with your multiple heroes that you have, then it can be valuable even in the passive form. And then he has the absorption. He will deal damage. So not only is he a support, but he will also contribute damage. So if we're comparing him, for example, to Haywin, Haywin contributes no damage. Ludovic will have some damage in his kit and pretty decent damage numbers. Like, this will be 55% of his attack every second for 4 seconds at maximum, which it probably will be, because it's going to be a percentage of the maximum HP, which will be capped at his attack. And then over here you have, again, health absorption from a nearest enemy, and it would heal the weakest ally. So this is a targeted healing, and up to 250% attack. Okay, but that's single target healing, and for example, Haywin has really high single target healing as well. And then hero focus, healing effectiveness is increased. I don't think Haywin has this effect, so he's going to have off the bat, if you can get the legendary plus on him, 14 bonus healing, and that will increase the effectiveness of his heals by 14%. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind, and it will go up by another 4% when he heals for a total of 2,400% of his attack. So here's his other thing, he has damage in his kit. This is going to be AoE damage with the ephemeral berries, and also dealing healing, or giving healing to nearby allies, and then he has a stun in his kit on this Everbloom field. So overall, I do think he's good, but I do not think he's going to be as good for a healer in a stall comp. Haywin will definitely be the best healer for that. Ludovic is more of an offensive option with some stuns in his kit, but what I could see happening is, for example, running triple healer, Damien, Haywin, Ludovic, Thorin, and then a final like Scarlita. I think that could be a very viable team. I do think in Graveborn oriented teams, Ludovic will be one of the best, but even in those teams, usually Haywin as a final healer is really good. But you could go for like Thorin, Igor, Carolina, Ludovic, and Haywin. A really Stroll type team, which would be difficult to kill, and having the double healers and one of them being a Graveborn healer. So overall, I really like him, and definitely like in terms of Graveborn heroes, he might even be a priority above Carolina or around Carolina's tier. Thorin is still the top priority, so when his rate up ends and if you want to put him on the wish list, I do recommend it. Either him or Carolina in the second slot, Thorin in the first slot. So overall, I think he is a good hero, but that is on paper. We'll have to see it in practice. And even in practice, if he is good, you have to be a little bit... You have to plan where you're going to be using him. Because honestly, based on his kit, even though you could use him in AFK pushing is not that important. With levels, you will be able to use almost any team to push the AFK stages, and there's no limit to the AFK stages in this season, so there's no like milestone to reach. All of your rewards, like the diamonds and the recruitment tickets, will end around about 1,200 AFK stage, so beyond that, you're only getting seasonal essence, which is not that important, honestly. So, and then for Dream Realm, I do not think, like, you can't run multiple supports. At most, you're running Coco and Smokey, and I don't think Ludovic will be able to take the place of either of those. They're just two core options, and so I do not think Ludovic will even be that viable in Dream Realm. So it just really leaves PvP, Arena, and Supreme Arena, and you'll have to just decide, will you be using him on your teams, and will it be worth it, the investment into him? So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because we upload daily AFK journey videos. But I just wanted to share my thoughts on this rate up recruitment. And in general, this can apply to all rate up recruitments. It's better to wait at least a couple of weeks, see if he's going to be involved in the meta teams, and then decide to use all of your tickets and your diamonds on him. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.